We're working to connect a region of over 600 cultural bridges between our lands.
Welcome to ASEAN in Focus. I'm Judith Ramera, delivering to you the latest news in and around the ASEAN region on today's headlines. Indonesian authorities fight fires that continue to blaze near the city of Pekanbaru on Sumatra Island, with flames in many parts of the country belching out smoke that threaten to choke much of Southeast Asia in smog. The Marikina city government on Sunday said it will file civil and criminal charges against people responsible for the improper disposal of pig carcasses found floating in Marikina River last week. And ASEAN steps up efforts in promoting transparency of non-tariff measures in the region. Indonesian authorities fight fires that continue to blaze near the city of Pekanbaru on Sumatra Island, with flames in many parts of the country belching out smoke that threaten to choke much of Southeast Asia in smog. Illegal fires to clear land for farming are raging on Indonesia's Sumatra and Borneo Islands, with firefighters battling round the clock through charred forest and water-bombing helicopters deployed to douse the flames. Dense smoke has blanketed Pekanbaru, a provincial capital on Sumatra, leaving the sky dark even at midday and residents fearing for their health. Smoke from the fires is causing intense haze and smog in the capitals Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, and part of southern Thailand. Borneo Island is also being affected. The governor of smog-hit central Kalimantan on Borneo Island, which Indonesia shares with Malaysia and Brunei, said Friday nearly 3,900 schools would be closed temporarily to protect students, with more than 9,000 shuttered in Sumatra. Meanwhile, a visible haze cloaks Singapore's skyline but did not deter visitors from tourist hotspots. The city-state's Environment Agency attributing to pollution to Sumatra, where illegal fires to clear land for farming are raging. The fires in Indonesia have sent toxic smoke floating over Malaysia, triggering a diplomatic row. Nearby Singapore has also warned residents to reduce outdoor activities.
The air quality is not bad. Visibility isn't as good, and I do find, compared to when I was here 2 weeks ago, when it was much bluer, it's not quite as nice today.
And some of my friends or colleagues maybe already prepared some masks, but for me I think it's not that bad. Yeah, also not affect our planning to go around.
Closure of schools in smog-covered Indonesian towns causes disappointment among local children, as clouds of smoke from forest fires blanketed many parts of the country. Take a look.
Gimana rasanya?
Sedih karena tidak dapat belajar sama guru dan teman-teman.
Biasanya buat sekarang?
Main-main sama teman-teman, kena nonton TV.
Ibu tak pergi sekolah?
5 hari dari hari Selasa sampai hari ini. Anak sedih, tidak dapat belajar sama guru dan teman-teman.
Women and young children fleeing the effects of the Indonesian smog have been getting medical help at special shelters, as forest fires continues to belch smoke and ash across many parts of the country.
Telah membuka posko pengobatan. Jadi selama 3 hari ini kita memeriksa pasien yang kita periksa itu terutama yang sekitaran Pekanbaru, itu kita melakukan pemeriksaan kesehatan, dan juga kalau butuh tindakan dengan oksigen atau di nebulizer. Yang kita periksa mayoritas anak-anak yang mengeluhkan sesak napas, ibu hamil, yang ketiga ada juga yang manula usia. Kita berharap malah kalau masih asap biasanya biasa lebih ramai biasanya. Cuman kalau misalnya kalau hari ini jerubunya malah PM-nya udah turun. Jadi mudah-mudahan berkurang terus pasiennya mudah-mudahan.
Meanwhile, floods in northeastern Thailand have submerged homes, roads, and bridges, leaving more than 23,000 people in evacuation shelters as anger grows over the government's slow emergency response. Torrential rain has lashed the country for the last 2 weeks, causing flash floods and mudslides in almost half its provinces, with families evacuated from their homes in boats or makeshift rafts. Since August 29th, 32 people have been killed in the deluge, according to a statement from the disaster department on Saturday that also gave the number of people staying in emergency shelters. 2 weather events are behind the widespread floods. The department said Storm Podul and a tropical depression that formed over the South China Sea called Kajiki. Thailand's junta leader turned Premier Prayut Chan-o-cha tweeted on Saturday that he has told agencies to expedite assistance to those in the affected areas. And on Sunday said it will file civil and criminal charges against people responsible for the improper disposal of pig carcasses found floating in Marikina River last week. Marikina Mayor Marcelino Marci Teodoro said the city has provided the Department of Agriculture, or DA, with a lead of information that could possibly point to the source of the dead pigs. In a statement, Teodoro said they are serious in filing cases against the culprit, whoever would be found in violation of Clean Water Act and sanitation law. He explained they will file a civil case so that they can claim damages for the man-hour, equipment, manpower the city consumed for clearing and burying the pig carcasses. He stressed that the culprits are civilly liable and criminally accountable because it can be considered as illegal dumping of pollutant. Meanwhile, the DA has deployed a team from the Bureau of Animal Industry, or BAI, to Montalban, Rizal to investigate the improper dumping of dead pigs retrieved in Marikina River. Dr. Noverly Kalub of BAI said they have already coordinated with the Office of the Provincial Veterinarian of Rizal and DA Calabarzon Region 4A. Kalub promised to immediately update Teodoro on the BAI investigation. He also thanked Teodoro for his dedication and support to control the African swine fever in the country. Since Thursday last week, a total of 56 pig carcasses were retrieved from the Marikina River. Teodoro earlier said that there is neither a piggery nor a slaughterhouse in Marikina City. Still in the Philippines, General Oscar Albayalde, the Philippine National Police Chief, will present the country's paper on current transnational crime concerns during the 39th ASEAN Association of Chiefs of Police, or ASEAN Conference in Hanoi, Vietnam on the September 16 to 20 this year. Albayalde said part of the PNP's document is the country's efforts to strengthen international cooperation with other police forces in the ASEAN, or the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, against transnational syndicates. He said a 20-member PNP delegation will attend sessions of the 3 conference commissions. Among topics to be discussed are illicit drug trafficking, terrorism, arms smuggling, trafficking in persons, maritime fraud, commercial crime, cybercrime, fraudulent travel documents, transnational fraud, ASEANapol database system, mutual assistance on criminal matters, exchange of personal and training programs, and the ASEANapol Forensic Science Network. At the sidelines of the conference, Albayalde said the PNP contingent will hold bilateral meetings with the United Kingdom National Crime Agency and the Australian Federal Police. The 39th ASEANapol will be attended by official delegations from the Royal Brunei Police Force, Cambodian National Police, Indonesian National Police, Lao People's Democratic Republic General Department of Police, Royal Malaysia Police, Myanmar Police Force, Philippine National Police, Singapore Police Force, Royal Thai Police, and the host agency, Socialist Republic of Vietnam Police. Also attending are observer and dialogue partner delegations from Fiji, Timor-Leste, National Crime Agency of the United Kingdom, International Association of Chiefs of Police, International Committee of the Red Cross, U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, ASEAN Secretariat, ICPO Interpol, Australian Federal Police, National Police Agency of Japan, New Zealand Police, Ministry of Public Security of the People's Republic of China, Europol, Russia, Turkey, and the National Police Agency of Republic of Korea. Meanwhile, Lieutenant General Archie Francisco Gamboa, the PNP Deputy Chief for Operations, is designated PNP officer in charge while the Albayalde is on official mission. In May 2014, the PNP hosted the 34th ASEAN Conference in Manila. The Philippines is a founding member of the ASEAN. The first ASEAN Conference was also held in Manila in 1981.
Net25 is now available on OSN, the largest entertainment network in the Middle East and North Africa.
Watch your favorite Net25 shows on OSN channel 725, same day as the Philippines.
Net25 shows live and on demand,
Anytime, anywhere,
on any mobile device on OSN Play.
Letters and Music, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, 1:00 hanggang 2:00 ng hapon.
Welcome back. The Philippine government is utilizing the whole-of-nation approach in addressing the regional security challenges posed by the territorial disputes in the West of Philippine Sea, or the WPS. And I quote, "There is a huge and indispensable task in managing the issues in the South China Sea dispute, which they duly recognize as source of instability and tension in the region, and a potential flashpoint," the Department of National Defense, or DND, Undersecretary Cardoso Luna said in the forum National Defense Policy in Defense of the National Territory, which was hosted by the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, or IBP, Makati City Chapter Friday. Luna represented Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, who is on an official trip abroad. The Philippines continues to exercise its rights in the WPS as a rules-based state, guided by the Constitution and the country's commitments to treaties, and is undertaking both diplomatic and domestic efforts. Luna also shared that central to the country's diplomatic efforts is the Bilateral Consultation Mechanism, or BCM, on the WPS, serving as the primary bilateral dialogue mechanism of the Philippines and China on territorial disputes and overlapping maritime claims in the WPS. The BCM has working groups for political security, oil and gas, fisheries, and marine scientific research and marine environment protection. The DND official said that at the BCM, they are continuously engaging China to discuss the issue. At the same time, they are reaffirming their commitment to international laws, especially to the UNCLOS and to the 2002 ASEAN-China Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea. More particularly, the government has been very consistent and firm in raising alarm and opposition to China's continued militarization in the South China Sea, he added. Luna pointed out enhancing and harmonizing their internal capabilities, meanwhile, are also at the core of the approach in upholding the national interest in the WPS, the Philippine Wise, and all the rest of their maritime domains. The defense official emphasized surveillance and enforcement operations will arm the government of the Philippines in lodging diplomatic actions on every Chinese incursion and unlawful action in their maritime domain, adding that the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, dutifully conducts legitimate and regular maritime and aerial patrols over the WPS. Repair and rehabilitation of facilities in the municipality of Kalayaan are also well underway. The development of facilities in the area, according to Luna, will not only enhance the presence in the WPS, but more importantly, it will aid the Filipino fishermen and residents in the area. Organized by Economic Research Institute for ASEAN and East Asia, or ERIA, a ceremony to hand over the non-tariff measures, or NTM database, to ASEAN was held at the sidelines of the 51st of ASEAN Economic Ministers meeting and related meetings on the 3rd to 10th of September 2019. In his remarks, Datu Lim Jokoy expressed appreciation to ERIA and the United Nations Conference on Trade of Development, or UNCTAD, for this initiative. He highlighted the importance of the NTMS database as it will support ASEAN exporters in understanding and complying with trade formalities and regulations that apply to products they trade in the region. Datu Lim had added that this effort can also help MSMEs improve their competitiveness by having direct access to reliable and fully validated NTMS, which in turn would facilitate more regional firms, particularly MSMEs, to trade and integrate within regional and global value chains, expanding the benefits of the ASEAN economic community and promoting inclusive growth and sustainable development. The Secretary General also underlined the potential contribution of the NTMS database in reducing the cost of doing business in ASEAN and in doubling intra-ASEAN trade by 2025. In collaboration with UNCTAD, ERIA collected and classified NTMS in the 10 ASEAN countries and the 6 East Asia countries: China, Japan, Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and India. The data collection covered all regulations from official documents, including international convention adopted by these countries. A total of 28,947 measures were classified, 6,699 regulations were coded, and up to 11,347 product lines were covered. The handover ceremony was attended by Deputy Prime Minister of Thailand, His Excellency Jurin Laksana Wisit, Secretary General of ASEAN, His Excellency Datu Lim Jokoy, the President of ERIA, Professor Hidetoshi Nishimura, as well as economic ministers from the ASEAN member states and ASEAN dialogue partners. Meanwhile, around 50 university students from across ASEAN gathered in Bangkok on the 3rd to 7th of September for the 3rd ASEAN University Student Council Union, or the AUSCU Conference. Themed ASEAN Youth for Transformative Impact Sustained Change through Volunteering. The conference was organized by the ASEAN University Student Council Union in collaboration with Thailand's Department of Children and Youth, Ministry of Social Development and Human Security. It aimed to explore untapped potentials of youth in creating positive changes for community development through volunteering activities. At the opening ceremony, Deputy Director General of Thailand's Department of Children and Youth, Tepawan Pornawale, said that ensuring a sustainable future for people and the region requires lifting up the quality of life through collaborative activities. Through conferences like this, they can empower their youth networks in ASEAN to contribute this process. Through group discussion, World Cafe, and light debating sessions, students voice their aspirations and drew solutions on how ASEAN can better mobilize its youths to volunteer in community projects and eventually contribute to sustainable development. A study visit to Bangkuntian Mangrove Forest was also organized, where the students could witness the fruits of a successful mangrove planting volunteering project. Serving as a bridge to connect the ASEAN youth with the region's policymakers in youth development, the conference delivered a set of recommendations to encourage and sustain youth volunteerism in the ASEAN region by improving the existing structure of volunteering programs and providing more volunteering opportunities in various fields. The students agreed that volunteering programs in ASEAN should be responsive to the current development and societal needs. The recommendations highlighted the importance of connectivity and ICT in volunteering programs, as well as the need to establish common guidelines and an integrated regional volunteering platform in ASEAN. The role of educational institutions in advocating for youth involvement in volunteering programs was also emphasized by the students. Skipping school to glide through a dirty Bangkok canal on a paddleboard, Lily fishes out rubbish in her mission to clean up Thailand, where the average person uses 8 plastic bags every single day. The U.S. Thai youngster started campaigning at the age of 8 after a seaside vacation in the southern Thailand, where she was horrified by a beach covered in rubbish. Watch this.
This area of Bangkok is known as the city's green lung, but it's suffocating under plastic, like much of the country. Lily is just 12, yet she's leading the fight to clean up the city, inspired by young Swedish climate change superstar Greta Thunberg.
Greta is really important to me because what she symbolizes. She says that kids can make a difference. She wants everybody to do something, and she got so many people together.
Thailand's the world's 6th biggest polluter of the oceans. Every Thai person uses on average 8 plastic bags a day. Lily is taking her message to the top. She has led several sit-ins outside the government house, met with business leaders, and she spoke at this UN conference.
I'm trying to enforce a lesson onto the Ministry of Education, a lesson about the environment.
She and fellow activists also clean up the city's canals.
It is hard, but I like to be positive about it because there's always hope. We can always fix something. If there's a problem, we fix it.
Lily's goal is to ban single-use plastic bags by 2022. Her first victory, managing to convince a supermarket chain in Bangkok not to offer plastic bags 1 day a week.
And that is the latest news in the Southeast Asian nations. Stay updated about the ASEAN region. I'm Judith Liamera, and I'm on with 25.
This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
United with the administration, or INC.
Hello everyone and happy Monday po sa inyong lahat. You are watching INCMV, where music is always inspired by faith, and I'm your host, Rochelle. And today we will be exploring the city where the Big Ben Clock Tower and the Buckingham Palace are located. And to make our day even more better, we have a lineup of INCMVs that will keep us inspired all day long. So hindi ko na po kayo paghintayin. To start this episode, here are your first 2 INCMVs.
Always been you and you alone. You lead my Here I am, my God.